Hey guys, how you doing today? I'm just getting home from work, got my shower in, feel real good. I wanted to come share with you something that I was just watching on Roman Balmakov. I can't remember how to say his last name, but I'll include a link to the video in the description because I found it very interesting what he was talking about with nanotechnology being used in our food. And apparently this has been going on for over 20 years. The thing I found interesting about it is the FDA allows this to go on because a lot of the things that they're using are allowed at a higher level, so they're including it at nanotechnology level. The problem is nanotechnology behaves very differently than it does at normal levels. And they're using it for things like being able to tell how long milk stays fresh and to be able to keep food fresh longer and things like that, which are nice benefits, but at what cost? And he talks about this because the researchers that he mentioned talked about asbestos being a similar situation where asbestos itself is not bad, except that it gets at such a small level, it accumulates in parts of your body and causes damage to organs. And one of the other researchers mentioned doing a test on rats or mice, and the mice that they tested, when they did the research, they checked two different types of mice, or two different groups of mice that were being fed two different diets, but both of them were given the nanotechnology, and both of them experienced bowel issues. Now, the reason I found liondiet to begin with was because of my gut problems. And I ate a lot of processed foods back before I started doing this diet. Now, I know all you guys out there that watch my channel have already gotten rid of processed foods, right? Right? Well, this is not for you then. This is for you to be able to tell your friends who haven't come around to the fact that they gotta stop eating processed junk. There are over 2,500 different foods using this nanotech in them. If that isn't reason enough to stop eating processed foods right there, then I don't know what else you need. I'm sorry about all the noise. They're still working on my house over there. But when it mentioned how the problem with the gut issues was the problem that they were seeing, or the result that they were seeing in both sets of animals, I thought, gosh, that sure reminds me of how my doctor looked at me like he had no idea what could possibly be wrong with me when I would tell him about my gut problems, and they had scoped up one end and scoped down the other, and they'd done every type of blood test on me and everything else. Well, one of the reasons why is they don't have any way to test this nanotechnology. It's just something that's beyond our means. And the FDA allows it to go on under this old feature that they have called GRAS, generally recognized as safe. So if they're using, say, titanium oxide, for whatever reason, that's allowed to be safe already, which is crazy to me. But at nanotechnology level, it's just grandfathered in, so it's like rubber stamped into the fact that they can put it in your food. And so many different foods have it, and they're not including it in the label. This is the same thing that happened with GMO stuff. For the longest time, they were using GMOs in our food, but it took a lot of public outcry to be able to get that stuff put on the labels. So that's just one more reason to me. I mean, I've already gotten to the point where I use it to help my family realize this is why you don't want to drink this. This is why you don't want to eat this food, as you look at the ingredients that are on there. But now I'm finding out that you don't even have to look at the ingredients label, and they're putting stuff in your food that's not even listed there. While I wait for them to stop sawing, I'm going to get something to eat. So that's the reason why I like to have this grass-fed, grass-finished meat that I get from my rancher up at Big Mo's Cattle. And even if I'm eating the meat from the supermarket, I know that it doesn't have a whole bunch of other stuff added to it. Now, I know that they use antibiotics on those cows, so it's still something that's a concern. But processed food is poison. And if this isn't one more reason for you to be able to get off of processed food, I don't know what is. Stick to nature's food. Good old-fashioned meat. By the way, this has been in the crock pot since yesterday morning. It is so soft and tender. I put this chuck roast in there. It was still frozen. And look at it today, man. It just falls apart. So do yourself a favor. Stop eating the processed garbage. You don't necessarily have to do all meat like I do to get healthy. But if you can get the processed food out of your life will be a whole lot better, I promise. I'll see you guys next time.
If we pay extra, could we maybe get some grease or fat?